Morning. Happy Friday, you guys. I'm sorry, it ain't morning. And I wasn't even saying morning. It was happy brunch time, but now it's happy lunchtime. Happy Friday, you all. I am here in my white, feeling godly, fresh out of a spiritual bath. Anointed down so that the monitoring spirits and haters that are trying to shut down my little ass platform can get some shit back from. Yeah, I don't care. Listen, I feel like I've been under attack lately by entities larger than just people. I remember a lot of you guys were asking me to be on TikTok. And I didn't want to do it because I don't like all these platforms. I'm not really a social media girl. I don't like the attention. I don't like to be seen. I don't like this. It makes me feel uncomfortable, and it makes me have to do more protective work for myself. But I had that TikTok, and then I started trying to upload clips. I got 6 clips in from, I have hundreds of videos here on YouTube. I was only 6 clips in before that thing was permanently banned. Permanently banned for violating TikTok's terms. And I hadn't done anything. I had only gotten 6 clips in. Then I was speaking with a subscriber who was emailing me, and they were telling me that they seem to have a platform too, even though they're usually anonymous, and they had posted my Sloan video on their TikTok, and they said it got taken down for going against TikTok's rules. My main Facebook that I use for real estate, and my Adina the artist page that I used to use for my music before I got into real estate, and said, those are now suspended for violating Facebook's terms. And it did give me the username, so I'll look into it. And I filed an appeal, but and the Instagram page that was attached to those Facebook pages, so my Dina the Artist Instagram page is gone too. I didn't use those pages. I haven't been using Facebook because I don't need to use it to market my real estate as much anymore. And I've been wanting to be more low-key since the situation with Andrew and Natasha happened, because I don't know who's smiling in my face anymore and waiting to murder me. So I've been a little bit more low-key as I go inward, deeper into my spirit, so I can figure out what's next for me and how to set myself up for this next level. I'm positive that somebody is trying to shut me up and shut me down. And it's ironic because I just started getting a couple of industry clients. So I don't know if y'all got something to do with this. Y'all better text me and tell me if you don't, because if you do, you got a problem. But it makes me think, well, more people from the industry are starting to notice me, and I don't know how, because I only have 1,000 and some change subscribers. I don't have a page where I have tens of thousands of subscribers. I don't expect for people to see me. Hold on, y'all. Let me pause this so I could straighten up my rap. All right. It's a little bit straight for now. I feel like Marge Simpson, but oh well. Anyways, this what's happening to me is what I never wanted to be on a public platform for. I've been doing juju. I've been a woo lady for years. And I've been okay with anonymity because I feel safe this way. And I could just focus on my work, my clients, and the things that matter, and not all the shit that doesn't matter that comes along with being public. But I do feel like I'm under some sort of attack by somebody who doesn't want me speaking out the way I do, which is why I'm going to do a Disney reading today. Remember the other day, I posted on my community tab that news clip or that Google search about the recent Human trafficking bust in Florida, about 157 people, including a Disney employee, was brought down. And now, if y'all see this video, you see it. If you don't, you don't. You can't stop me from talking, even if you can stop me from being seen. But I'm a Florida native. I'm a Florida resident. I have lived nowhere else in this world but Florida. Disney has employees, Disney Orlando has employees get busted at least 4 times a year for trafficking or exploitation of minors or something like that. Just Google Disney trafficking bust and look at all the articles that come up. Disney Orlando trafficking. Just look at all the articles that come up. There's a recent one, and then there's tons of, it happens multiple times a year, 2, 3, sometimes 4, every year. I often expect to see those Polk County press conferences, Polk and Orange County press conferences about the bus. Most of the time, I'm not going to get onto that. So I told you guys on my community page when I shared that I was going to do a reading on Disney Orlando, and here it is. Now, for those of you who are watching my videos who never journey over to my community tab, there are readings there. Last night, since I spent the day in meditation and contemplation, I didn't do any full readings, but I was feeling so, high vibrational that I was pulling one cards for questions. And I did that last night, but I have things that I post on my community tab, and I do that because of the monitoring spirits that watch my videos, not to be enlightened, but to be entertained or to be divisive. And wisdom is a matter for kings and queens. And the reason why there is an occult, it's because certain information is hidden from the masses who don't know what to do with it yet in their current state of evolution. And so sometimes I might put something very important, or what I think is very insightful, on my community tab. Because if you're here, then you're supportive of my gifts. And no matter what I post, you're going to see it. Because you feel enlightened after you do. I don't always say everything that I see in readings, because then I'll really be hated. And that's my prerogative to do that. But anyways, I don't know how this video is going to go over with me, with the powers that be, because I'm sure somebody has taken notice of me. I don't know how, but because I only post on YouTube, and I consider myself like a nobody out here in these streets. I still do real estate full time. I probably always will, because I can close a deal and make 5 or 6 figures. I have to have 10,000 subscribers on Instagram before I start getting paid $1,000. So if y'all really think, anyways. I want to talk about Disney Orlando, because I'm so tired of hearing about Disney Orlando employees being involved in some sort of trafficking having to do with humans and children. The Soto girl, her mom's boyfriend worked at Disney. Casey Anthony worked at Universal. These are places full of children. The devil's playground, if you're the kind of devil that likes to take advantage of children. Disney Orlando, I want to know, why are you always getting buzzed for trafficking? Because you guys can't be oblivious to the fact And you guys like to hire a lot of immigrants, and they're always the one. Now, in this recent human trafficking, they mention a Disney employee and mostly immigrants. But when they do those busts of trafficking and pedophilia rings, it's a little bit of everybody in there. A lot of white, a lot of border immigrants, and not the Haitian ones. But I'm in Florida, so that's to be expected. We're surrounded by those other cultures of people. Anyways, Disney Orlando. Most High Mother and Father God, please allow me to conjure up Disney Orlando. Can you tell me why Disney Orlando employees always seem to get busted for traffic, and if Disney Orlando has anything to do directly or indirectly with the activities that their employees are known for getting involved in? Show me Disney, and rather they're involved in any of the activities that their employees are busted for, or rather they are mortified that they keep hiring employees that keep getting busted for trafficking. It's always trafficking. Disney seems like they will hire anybody. They'll bring anybody on board. And this is human trafficking, the immigrants. This is the immigrants. Trafficking immigrants. Matter of fact, Disney Orlando. What is trafficking? Disney employee amongst 157 nabbed in Polk County. More than 150 people, including a Disney employee and 25 illegal immigrants, have been arrested in an undercover human trafficking sweep. They have been arrested in an undercover human trafficking sweep in Polk County that also led to the rescue of 4 human trafficking victims. Dubbed Operation Autumn Sweep, the 5-day multi-agency investigation led to the arrest of 150 suspects who solicited prostitutes and those who offered to commit prostitution, and other suspects who committed crimes related to prostitution. Out of those arrested, 47 were prostitutes, 96 were Johns, 1 was a human trafficker, and 14 are facing other charges. The oldest John was 61 and the youngest was 15. Two potential human trafficking victims were in the country illegally and had to turn 20 tricks to pay a day to pay off the person who brought them into the States. If they did not comply, Judd said that their human trafficker would slap and choke them. The sheriff pointed out that 26 arrested were married and several were engaged. 1 was a Disney employee who worked as a custodian at the theme park. According to Polk County Sheriff's Office, 3 additional suspects were arrested for soliciting who they thought were children online and charged with traveling to meet a minor, attempted lewd and lascivious battery on a minor, and use of a computer to seduce a child. Also in the crowd, and this is on Fox 13, and then I'll wrap this up. Also in the crowd during the press conference, a survivor who is now a mentor shared her personal story. The scars from my past serve as a reminder that not only did I experience a difficult situation, but I made it through. Scars are not only a sign of trauma, but they're also a sign of healing. After all, there is no scar until the wound is closed. Beautiful. All right, so this is Disney. Sometimes they hire people, especially immigrants, for cheap labor. Because Disney needs tons and tons and tons of employees for their various parks and activities and stuff like that. And they turn a blind eye to a lot of things going on because it's cheap labor. And a lot of times the people who are doing these things aren't people that would be on their radar. But there seems to be a known culture or environment with Disney. So rather the company itself, or rather the culture in their workforce, there seems to be some business going on between the trafficking world and Disney. I don't know if it has to be because of their location, all the tunnels and underground roads that they have. Disney has its own zip code and police force. So I don't know if the company itself is involved in it as much as they overlook it. Oh, well, the problem is that they know. And this tells me that Disney could be exposed in relation to what we're talking about. Disney, the entity, could be exposed as a bigger player in something. For one, if the police dug into it, or two, if they wanted to. If you take down Disney Orlando, what would happen to the Florida economy? So it seems like authorities are aware, and Disney is aware of some stuff it has going on and its employees have going on. But because they could be implicated in some stuff directly related to Disney and maybe other entities that turned a blind eye as well to a lot of major stuff, another tower moment for a state. Seven of Cups. Now, there are a lot of activities that goes on at Disney. Some of them are things that are supposed to go on at Disney. Some of them are not. Disney Orlando and the Disney entity, it seems like it was created for cartoon and pleasure, but something about Disney, even its cartoons, there was something in it. Something about Disney. Wait, not Disney. Yeah, Disney itself. Not just the parks, but Disney. Walt Disney and his enterprise. It was outward one thing, but then inward something else. I remember watching a video of how sexual symbols and things like that could be drawn into cartoon characters. And sometimes when you're an adult and then you think back on the things that you used to watch in your children's shows, sometimes you say stuff like, why would we ever watch that? It seems like Disney itself had a lot of hidden elements to it. Not just the Disney that we've grown to love and enjoy. There was some other activities going on at Disney that was ingrained in Disney. It's a part of the Disney brand, but maybe not the outward brand. And it will continue going. One of you law enforcement detectives, which one of the law enforcement detectives who always is I don't know what the hierarchy is in law enforcement, but this person feels like a main sheriff or whatever, whoever that oversees, you know, all the other parts, and whoever the big dog is that oversees what gets investigated and stuff. As much as you guys, the law team likes to come and do those press conferences whenever you bust something, with all the information you have, why are you allowing things to continue going on? Because all the collected evidence y'all have, and you have collected over time, y'all are very much aware of something else, but you're not allowed, you don't have the power, the ability to do something about it because it's above you. And this has something to do with things done in the dark that are meant to stay in the dark. Because men, or powerful figures could go down if the evidence that's collected from all these investigations surrounding Disney were done something with. Walt Disney itself, the man, even though he's not alive, and all the men and entities involved would go down. Governors, possibly politicians in Florida. What would this do to Florida? Because this has been going on all my life. Queen of Wands in reverse, prostitutes. It seems like the prostitutes, or the ones that were trafficked, are giving tea that they're not allowed to express publicly, or that authorities aren't doing anything with now or won't at all. Also, a lot of these women do it because they're forced to, because they are here illegally, or whoever paid for them to be here, they're trying to pay them back. But like it was said, they don't want to be in that position. And they're spilling other things too. They're spilling other things too. It seems like the police investigate or keep an eye on a lot of this activity. Now, they let it go on, hopefully, so that they can get to bigger things. But then they get to bigger things, and it seems like they don't go all the way all the time. The police feel like this is a success for them, a win for them. And they parade these wins on TV, even though there are a lot of activities going on that they ride by and overlook so that they can seem like they're doing something. And cheers for them for doing the things that they do. But what about these other wands that you can see upraised, that you don't do anything about, so that you can feel like you've done something? And even your horse is like, you don't see this other shit? I thought you was here for the right cause. You gonna let them get away with it? Okay. And Disney will continue to be the entity that it is. because Disney is too big of an entity to take down. It feeds too much of the economies in California and in Florida. But since we're talking about Florida, too much money. So they'll continue to bust employees without ever eradicating the root of the issue. Investigators will not charge forward with the big Disney who's in charge of what the other employees do. Now, this makes me think that there are dungeons, caves, tunnels in Disney. And this card also, because as soon as I looked at it, images start flowing in my mind. I see people in those tunnels and caves being mistreated, chained. Methinks that there is some route for Disney to smuggle from the border to Disney. There seems to be a hidden route. Ooh, there is a hidden route. This is traveling fast, multiple people moving fast, but in reverse, it's like the Underground Railroad. I also see something about homes. So some of these tunnels could lead to certain houses, to certain locations where stuff like this happens. From Disney, I see certain illegal immigrants choosing to work at Disney because they know about this route. These are employees who aren't there because they need to make a living. It's their front, it's their cover. I don't know if there is a woman at Disney who's in a position of power. She could have something to do with HR, hiring process. She would be in the know. She would be in the know. She's a part of the cabal. So she would be in the know, and she has the power to make the decisions on who's able to work at Disney or something like that. Otherwise, it seems like there is a policy, like certain jobs don't go to people of color at Disney. You can't be a princess and stuff like that. Maybe they're starting to soften up, but back in the day, these immigrants and stuff, they were only hired for, laborious positions because they have access. If you're a character, you're too visible. You got to perform. If you're the janitor, you can slip in and out of places because you have full access. She's in the know. And I'm looking at her. When the police comes, I actually don't know if all the immigrants make it out alive. There are children. What they don't want to talk about, because they mentioned it a little bit, but even in the article, they said if you think that we're just busting prostitutes because we don't have anything else to do, that was them saying these prostitutes give us information. And that information, the detectives cannot do anything with. Maybe at one point they wanted to, but then they found out you're up against an entity that you can't win against. And it has to do with children. And I believe that certain things happen to them there. And whenever there is a bust or something and they have illegals there, something is done with them. Not good, though. Oh, this woman might be a snitch. She might be helping the investigation, but she can't be known to be a snitch because she's still employed there. She makes a lot of money. Let me see. This Queen of Wands, is she a part of the cabal, or is she there trying to help the babies? Nine of Wands in reverse. Now it's like she'll lose her job if she doesn't. She's not invested either way. She just will. It's her job to turn a blind eye. All right. I don't know where I want to go with this next. Let me go to the outcome. The King of Pentacles, because that tells me things will go on, business as usual. Things will go on, business as usual. There's a relationship here between Disney and maybe the police force. Oh, not just saying that there's not a relationship somewhere between Disney and the police force. It seems like there is a lot more to do with children, because this card tells me that things will go on, continue as long as people keep getting together, making families, and then abandoning them. Because that puts people in desperate situations. So it seems like the children that they use, and this is mirroring something I said in my other video about children, the CPS video. Impoverished and forgotten. And because they're so impoverished, they do anything. Anything. So they're not just pimping out women, they're pimping out children too. To avoid being snitched on for being here. Or being hurt. Because of how they were brought here. And it will continue to go on. This Queen of Wands here also makes me think that there is a president coming in that won't stop it. Kamala was in charge of the borders. This whole time Biden has been in office, and I've done a reading on the borders. Trafficking at the borders. Trafficking and trapping at the borders. And it will continue. I don't see an end in sight. Love you guys. Bye.